Interesting decision that they're choosing to take, though. This is, of course, their map pick, so they might be having some things in mind. And Def definitely has some things on his mind as he takes Tropical down immediately. Just venturing his way over towards that A-long area. Backs himself off successfully as well. And already you see them trying to get some map control all around the map. Shonk pushing through. The decoys will be doing a little bit of damage towards them. Nothing significant though. Only an HP or so. And still, Android will be the man to be potentially to be able to really stop this push from happening. He's over towards Stair. They're pushing down from Broken Wall. He's getting a few shots in, but they're not really headshots. They're not what he's looking for. Finally, Shonk goes down as well, and Android is able to get another before he gets traded away by Laffy, who's managed to find 3 so far. Could this be the ace clutch that he's been looking for? Doesn't quite look like it. He will find another gun for himself, almost getting shot in the process of doing so. Surreal has actually turned his back away from him. Def on 90 HP could be brought down very, very quickly, but Laffy, he's not quite in that one headshot range potential for Surreal. Def also having that kit in his hands makes this a lot easier, so they're not too afraid of him getting the bomb down either. The dink comes out onto Def. He almost goes down. 1 HP on him. This has got to be so frustrating for Laffy right now, and it will be Surreal to finish things off. 3 kills coming out from him. He's got to be very disappointed in his teammates right now. And immediately you see the UMPs coming out in the hands of Complexity. I would actually quite like to see a 5-7 instead of a UMP on Surreal, simply because the UMP is a little bit more of an investment, and the 5-7 can still be incredibly effective against those armored opponents, while allowing you to be able to save a little bit more effectively for that AWP in that 3rd round. So you're not really reliant on being able to get those kills to afford the big green gun from coming through. Now J-Chance pushing through with the Tech 9, might be able to find a few shots here. They're all coming down drop, and they know it. That's why the Molotov will be able to stop them in their tracks. Immediately the rotation comes into Connector. Surreal sees them rotating over, though will be brought down as 2 players converge on him. That's Shonk and 1. Tropical on the back lines. He's holding off the assault. He's holding off Complexity's flank. And Slemmy's the last man on this A side. He's found 1. Can he find more? Where he's revealed his position behind Wood. And he will be finding a few Slemmies. Good morning from Laffy as he backs himself off. Has revealed his position. Daisy finds 1. And Slemmy will finally be brought down after having wreaked havoc. Def, flashbang in a hand. Will end up flashing himself, unfortunately. Daisy pushes through, finds 1, but oh no, they've brought it down to a 1 versus 1. Laffy with the UMP should be able to has a potential of being able to take this away, but there is a flashbang in the hands of Def, and it all depends on how he uses it. Will not even need to, because Daisy, he's got that headshot. Complexity are able to squeeze out the victory in that round, but it became very, very close. And Surreal now with the MP9 coming through. Once again, same criticism from me. I would like to see maybe just stick to a pistol, P250, 5.7, use your utility, and be able to get the AWP in the next round, because that can be so incredibly powerful in this map. Over towards Chicken Coop, over towards A-Long. There's just so many angles you can play with that. Surreal will almost be overwhelmed by C, but he is able to get 2 for his trouble. That's the money of his gun replenished, at least, if nothing else. Lemmy will be able to find 1 more, so lots of money going their way. Surreal, does he have enough to buy the AWP? Looks like he will not, but Def can, of course, still buy that up, throw it over, and stick to the UMP himself. Will they choose to do it, though? The full rifles are coming out. Slemmy is the man to purchase it up instead. And Def sticks to the UMP regardless. Surprisingly enough, Android is not upgrading that MP9, and that's the really big... Oh, never mind. Is able to pick up a UMP that was fallen over. Chonky. Oh, look at the grenades. Look at the triple grenade coming out from Complexity. Does bring down Laffy to 70, but beyond that, just a lot of investment coming out, perhaps for not very much, but still they've got lots of incendiaries in their hands. They can definitely stop a push coming out from Broken Wall. Android is ready with the grenade. Tropical is sufficiently far off to not really get even tickled by that grenade. And again, holding the angle over, holding the sight over towards B is all fine and well, but when you aren't really able to punish the CTs for playing as aggressively as they are, with Surreal taking the AWP over towards A-Long, The only man holding that angle is, of course, going to be J Chance. And Jay, he doesn't really have a chance if he tries to peek into it, Surreal. 50 seconds left on the clock. This is normally where teams start throwing out their grenades to be able to go for the executes, but the incendiaries in the hands of Daisy and Slemmy, those are going to be what really seal the deal. Slemmy throws it out already. Daisy's a little bit far back over towards Chicken Coop, and Slemmy with 4 people over towards his B side. He may have read this very, very incorrectly. J Chance is pushing through very aggressively. Surreal needs to be able to find a few kills with that AWP. He realizes it, backs himself off with 20 seconds left on the clock. This could be big. Laffy goes down. Surreal's holding the angle. Will be able to get the shot. No, J Chance actually uses the flash perfectly, and they're not going to be able to make it over in time. Android is having bullets pumped into his chest, and Def will very soon be left alone as Daisy gets taken down by Shonk. They know where he is as well. He's walked down over towards the A ramp with 5 seconds left on the clock. They're able to get the bomb plant down, and Def has made it into a 1v1, 1v none. And 3-0 will very soon be turned into a 4-0 as Complexity, once again, by a bare minimum, are able to take that round away. Their money is looking very strong as well. And Sippintea, they may have just lost their best hope of being able to take Complexity's momentum out from underneath them, take the wind out from under their sails. And what a shot coming out from Def on towards the first person. Lovely stuff, absolutely lovely. Again, though, Complexity, they've got 3 players positioned over towards A. Def finds one. The early on advantage going their way as well, and Def is more than ready to be able to peek through for one more. Will he find it through the smoke? Doesn't look like that will be the case. I have to say, Sippintea, this might be where you start doing your magical shooting through smokes at every single point and getting the kill. With 2 people's position over towards drop, Android is more than ready to take down Tropical, and indeed he will. Grenades himself out as well, but dodges out most of the damage, at least, if nothing else. And 2 players very slowly inching their way forward on towards that A side. J Chance, ooh, nice little shot coming out from him. SG being put to good use, even jumping up, knows where Surreal is, wants to go for the peak, but the AWP will not be brought down just quite yet. Desi with the M4 takes down the SG at long range despite having the advantage. Seabud finds 1 headshot. Can he find 2 more is the question. With his teammate being very low, he definitely needs to. He's found 1. The last man is also going down. That's what I'm talking about, Sippin. Get those shots through the smoke. Lovely stuff coming out from them. And Laffy, he says he's had enough. He says it's time to go for the ye old faithful, what every American father seems to own in the movies when they... Never mind, I'm not going to say that out on stream. Sometimes you have to be politically correct. But this is not one of those times, because gun control is a big problem for Sippintea. Android, he's got a handgun of his own and he's found 3 heads so far. This is a shooting range, and Laffy is soon going to be joining in the proud American tradition. Very soon after it does go down, though. 5-1. Sippintea just got reset. They've got the money to be able to go for a lackluster buy with a few rifles. The Tech 9's obviously always very, very powerful, but I have to say Android with that Deagle, what an absolutely marvelous round coming out from him. And to add insult to injury, he chooses to pick up the sawed-off rather than the AK. And that sawed-off will be put to good use. Never mind, Laffy says mine is bigger than yours is. And really, at this point, that is more of the contest. If you've got 2 sawed-offs going against each other at equal range, that really is, oh dear, surreal. Says it doesn't matter how big yours is, it's how you use it, and he's not quite using it right. 3 versus 4, and Def, he takes a little bit of damage, but unfortunately, they do end up losing out the man advantage on Sippintea that they were able to get so strenuously. Jay, where is he? Can he find the shot to Surreal? Makes a bit too much noise and will be forced to give it up as a consequence. Surreal will not even be able to find that. Oh, never mind. Actually, finds the crosshair placement, but very quickly finishes him off with the deagle. Versus 2, not the easiest situation, but it is definitely doable. They're both there. Oh, never mind. He reveals his position and Def brings him down. I really don't think that that's the greatest of ideas, trying to go for the wallbang with the M4. Not really the most infamous gun for being able to take down those quick wallbangs. But to each his own. 6-1, Sippintea. They've found 1 round so far, and Complexity are making this look like a CT-sided map, and really that's not the easiest task to do on cobblestone. And Sippintea, so far, they have not really been playing according to the metagame, which is so much more acentric these days. Surreal is able to run away very casually, just walking past the doors of death, blowing a kiss through and getting really a slap in the wrist in return. With 74 HP left, he will be able to take down 1 before getting traded out in danger. Very soon after, though, Slemmy will avenge his death by getting 2 more of his own. Daisy pushing through, going for the pincer play. The bomb has been picked up, but doesn't really matter. But finds 1. Needs to turn around for the second one. An android will indeed finish him off. And the man with the biggest gun of them all throws down a smiley face, but at least 1 head will be left up, as his is taken down by Def. 7-1, and Sippintea have not really been utilizing that A side properly. They haven't really been able to take control of A long the way that so many good teams on Cobble are able to do so these days. Hell, even B side seems to be practically off limits to them, as Complexity very consistently positioning 3 players over towards it with 1 man ready for the rotation. Look at this, Tropical in the bloom, doesn't get scouted out, but doesn't really matter. Daisy backs up his second D, and J-Chance will be going down despite having the ideal opportunity to take them down. I have to say, Sippintea is not just looking sloppy, they're looking horrendously sloppy. And that really is a repetition of the objective, but it doesn't really matter at this point, because it's a repetition of the same round happening again and again, with Sippintea left with 1 man alive, and that 1 man is laid to rest very soon after. The anthem of Complexity continues, and they are singing it, and Sippintea are having it played as a funeral song. 8-1. Ask not for whom the bell rings, strikes, takes its toll. I really don't remember the idiom. I was going to go somewhere with that, but unfortunately not quite able to do so. And Slemmy goes somewhere as well, throwing out some fire, gets sent to hell. And 1 man in his lonesome is, of course, over towards the B side, lurking. Laffy just waiting for the counter boost to perhaps come through. Tropical as well, down in danger. That sounds like a porno, down in danger. Daisy as well. Finds the angle, knows where Shrunk is, brings him down, backs himself off. Of course, it's trolls. I swear I'm good at English. I used to be, at least, but I suppose that's what Seabot thought about his peaking skills. Surreal brings him down, finds him a companion soon after, says, "Don't be lonely in the afterlife. Here, have 1 more." And Daisy says, "It's okay. Let's make it a crowd." And Laffy turns it into a party, because he is rocking. 2 people left, and he could make this happen right now. Laffy is looking to ring some bells, and the bells are being rung, but unfortunately just not hard enough. 1 bullet, 2 men. Can this be done? Well, I'm surprised that he found that kill, but should have probably gone for the reload a little bit earlier. 9-1. If this was table tennis, then the game would be over already. Complexity, though, they're looking to make it over very, very soon. Taking control of B. Oh, what? What? Tropical manages to find his way over towards the exact same spot, through the exact same spot, exact same smoke, every single time. And they still don't punish him. Do you remember how I said complexity is definitely a little bit questionable? This is what I'm talking about. The trends are ridiculous. They have the exact same default that they run every single time, or so it seems, and yet they're not really able to quite punish it properly. But finds one. That's Slemmy going down, but the immediate trade is there from Surreal, who's able to find his second one as well. J-Chance is a bit of a gentleman, says that it's okay, you can get the scope before I come into you. Surreal again scoped through. He's looking for his third kill of the round, and he will be gifted it on a silver platter. It's a fourth, and it's almost a fifth, but he gets taken down finally. But though turns it into a 1v1 as he's chiming in. Def doesn't really have any utility, neither does he. This is a game of pure aim. This is the game of pure aim, and Def is going forward. He wants some fame. I can't really rhyme any further. T times the name. Def, it's all on him. The bomb has gone down. He knows where it is, probably. But over towards Broken Wall. Actually takes the high ground, spots him out. He knows where Def is coming from. It's towards the right side of truck, but but he's not quite holding the correct angle over at Broken Wall. Doesn't quite know. Never mind. But he's going to be seeing his head hit the ground. And finally, Sippintea find their way back onto the board. And after what seems to be far too long of a win streak for complexity, they're able to bring it back, and now things are looking up for them because there is a Farmus in the hands of Slemmy, and more importantly, there is considerably less utility with not a single incendiary being present on the complexity squadron. Jay might find Slemmy very soon, but Slemmy with that Farmus will definitely be at a firepower disadvantage. Drop down is being secured by Android, but drop down is not where they're going to be dropping down into. Slemmy is the man who will be making first contact from the CT side, but will they realize where he is? He turns around, perhaps suspecting a flashbang. Laffy finds one, but it's the one to his head. It's taken down. Tropical finds a few more with the UMP, and they've got the numbers advantage. Surreal looking to miss his first shot of the game, second shot of the game, or so it seems like with the track record he's had so far. But Seabot will be able to back himself off successfully. Sees a man, forgets that he's not on the CT side, and he will be taken down. Daisy turns around, says hi, and says goodbye very soon afterwards. It's a tragic story, but the tragedy is being added to. Def is found 2, could be 3. But Shonk will very soon shut it down. 1v2, flashbang going into the air, will not be catching anyone out. They both managed to avoid it. He's got the bomb in his hands as well, throwing it down. Surreal going for the peak. Will he be able to get this? Yes, he will. Shonk has the angle, gets a bomb. Plant down. Daisy versus Shonk, 1 versus 1. I've seen this movie before, and if it ends the same way, I think, never mind, it doesn't. Oh well, he tried. I have to give him that. He did try. And they have their money taken away from them. This is indeed a capitalistic economy with the poor. I swear, Sippintea is like the proletariat and Marxism regime. They're being given hope, and that's why they're not conducting a violent uprising. Sippintea, I promise, if you want to be able to get in towards a bourgeoisie class, then you need to commit that violent uprising. Marx is right. This is where maybe if you want to go for the Leninistic ideals, maybe you want to do that, develop a vanguard party, use that to be able to spread your political sphere across Russia, take over Russia, then very quickly beat Na'vi. And look at this cycling of guns right now. Android is the last man left with the Max 7 over towards Broken Wall. He might be showing them what Stalin's era was like rather than Lenin, with a massive massacre. Massive massacre, not really the best use of words, but it's the best use of bullets right now as a man goes over from above him and will be bringing him down. Def turns it around, trying to go for a 360. But this is not time for his mother to bring the camera. 10-3, Sippintea. are forming that vanguard party, and complexity with the money being as low as it is, this might very well be where they start taking over the CIS region. I'm really not sure why I keep bringing that up. This is what happens when you're studying. This is what happens when you're studying international relations for far too long, all day long. All is not lost for complexity, though. We've seen how dire. We've seen how absolutely dire these anti-ecos can be, especially with the Deagles. I mean, Android already having demonstrated more than his fair share of capability and prowess on that with that gun. 4 men over towards the A side once again. J-Trans leading the way with the SG. He's found a few ridiculous shots with that, but now he's going up against Slammy. He finds another one, opens the sight up. Surreal though with the CZ is able to trade with the low ground advantage, something that Anakin never really did understand. Death Deagle in hand, almost finds the shot, but doesn't quite look like he will be able to in the end. But runs away, but with 1 bullet left, Def takes him down. Laffy finds the headshot as well. Surreal, it's all on him. He's got the SG in his hands. He's found the angle as he turns around. Shock goes down. Tropical, last man left standing in a 1v3. Knows where all of their angles are, but can he get these shots through? Finds one, needs to find the second one. 1 bullet left! And it's not quite enough. To 11-3 in complexity. I talked about the anti-ecos being deadly, and Sippintea will be kicking themselves, kicking themselves for that one. Laffy, his flashbang is ready, his knees are weak, his arms are heavy. Tropical says Def can have some of his mom's spaghetti. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. This is the best of 3, the second game of the best of 3. Kalaku, Surreal has managed to equalize the score. Tropical, a lot of damage being dealt to him as J-Chunks says, sit down, AWP player, sit down. With 3 men still left scattered across the map, they do need to push forward aggressively and get some information on the complexity side. That's why you see Desi doing what he is right now, but he will be punished for it. Android has made his way back over towards the B site though, and this could be big as he's managed to hide himself behind statue, reveals himself, and Slemmy is left in a 1 versus 4. The AWP will be brought down. Sippintea once again managed to make themselves over towards 4 rounds. And they did start to bring it back later on. You have to give them that. We're definitely looking a lot better, but the few eco rounds that they ended up losing out with Android's Deagle coming into play in the first one, 3 kills to that, really just sealed the deal. At least on the bright side, the 4 rounds they did win were not based off of the pistol, so they have something to be feeling happy about. It's a slight improvement from Train, where they only won 3 rounds, and even those were courtesy of the pistol round. The scoreline really does give a decent idea of what is going on so far in the map, but perhaps not as one-sided as it does make it seem like. Sippintea with 4 rounds to their name and complexity now on the favored side. It's alright, Johan, don't worry about it. Thank you for sticking around. But now complexity on the favored side. Going for 4 sets of Kevlar. The Molotov being thrown out already. Laffy knows where 1 is. Laffy knows where the second is. Can he get the shots? Yes, he can. Turns around. Could be the third coming his way as well. Tropical's managed to find 2 of his own. Slemmy, last man left standing. I say that, but he's lying down very soon after. And Sippintea, off the back of that, they could be looking at an 8-11 scoreline, something much more manageable than the 4-11, which is, well, 7-11 scoreline, not the 8-11 scoreline. Much more manageable, and this is where complexity suddenly, they have to be feeling very worried if they're not able to get the bomb plant down this round, or if not, failing that, if they're not able to win the round outright. And they could be stuck in a very difficult situation where suddenly Sippintea has the ability to be able to make their way back in. Jay Chauncey's got the angle, backs himself off successfully so. Decoy goes through. Will he be able to get these kills though? The Molotov will be blocking them off a little bit. Daisy runs through the fire. He says he's Chris Angel's illegitimate son, but does get hurt in the process. Tropical and Surreal. They are the men who are going to be battling out over towards that A side, but Surreal, he pushes through, picks up the bomb, and it's all on Shonk to be able to bring down the man over towards drop. That is, of course, Slemmy, who's pushing through, looking to maybe rotate over towards the A side where J-Chance is. Daisy still down in danger, and the bomb is making its rotation over. This is what we're talking about. This is what we were talking about earlier on. The metagame of coL is just really shifting more towards the rotation-heavy metagame. Mid-round calls are king in this map. And Slemmy definitely brings a lot to the table in that regards. Jay pushes through, goes for the high ground. Needs to look over towards A main, and he could maybe find a few kills. And Laffy, he's the man who's found one, but Slemmy trades, and that is the equalizer. 30 seconds left on the clock, and it is going to be Jay Chance with one. Pulls out the USB as well, and going through, pushing forward. 5 bullets left in the farmers. Will be brought down. Slemmy, no, never mind. He finds a headshot. And Daisy will finally finish him off. Def gets tagged up by the flashbang. Can he find the shot? Yes, he can. Makes it into a 1v1, and that 1v1 will be won by Sippintea. 6-11, and they are able to bring that one away by a hair's margin. Hair's margin. And things are suddenly looking a lot more interesting because Complexity, they are on the favored side, but Sippintea are making it look like they're much more comfortable on the CT side. And of course, for a map that perhaps they don't play as much, this would be the case. As Jay Chance once again holding the high ground at a different angle this time around. Did get boosted up courtesy of his teammate over towards that A side and knows exactly where they're coming from. Daisy might have scouted him out, so he has to back himself off. The smoke will be allowing him to retreat for now. Dave almost getting sprayed down as Jay Chance gets a few bullets through. Surreal is very, very low. Laffy finds one. And see, but they have 3 players over towards this A side, something that Complexity definitely would not be expecting just quite yet. Laffy finds the shot in the pre-fire, can't quite connect with the headshot though. That's what he's looking for, but but will be able to do so. The Farmers really coming into its own, showcasing its only strength over the UMP really. The super long range battle. Now Jay looking to find the last one through as the flashbang will not be catching out Slemmy. The bomb is revealed though, so Jay knows where exactly it is, and Slemmy manages to bring him down the Deagle. Coming into its own, could be the second shot, will not connect. 7-11, Complexity and Sippintea. Very suddenly, this is where the real test comes into play. Complexity have got their full AKs, but with very few flashbangs, and their utility being incredibly lackluster. They are going to have their work cut out for them. The B-bomb side is probably where they need to go, with the utility being as low as it is. The A side really is practically off limits for them, but you already see Shonk, he's positioned over towards that B side. They've got so many players, they're all completely ready. Even the man over in A, J Chance, is more than ready to go for the rotate. He's positioned very close towards connector. Laffy, the same for him, considering pushing through the window in towards drop, but decides against it, and wisely so. Daisy is getting ready to sell the fake over towards A and very quickly try and force some rotations out. Android has revealed his position over towards drop though, and he drops down immediately. The flashbang will not be catching him out. Tropical will be able to bring one down. That one is all that they needed. Make sure that the numbers advantage doesn't quite go the way of Complexity yet. It's all on Chonk though. If they come down towards drop, this will be massive. He needs to be able to get the spray down, but they might be choosing to go over towards connector through A side instead. Jay is still waiting for Complexity to try and reveal their position. Daisy is still over towards that A site, and Slemmy has dropped down. The flashbang goes through. They will be pushing over. Def will be facing up Laffy very soon. Laffy has found one. Can they find the second one? No, they can't, because Seabot is there to refrag it, but Slemmy brings it back. J-Chance loses out that battle. Daisy and Slemmy very, very low. Shonk can very easily take this one away. He's got the Molotov. He's got the double flashes. This will be absolutely consequential. How exactly will he be using this out? Daisy with only 3 HP. This Molotov could practically be a helium grenade. Could practically be an explosive grenade. If used properly. Can very easily bring them down. And Slemmy, he's in an angle where he's just so susceptible to the flames. And Shonk has made his way over behind him. Slemmy, what are you doing? He's going for the diffuser as well. He won't have enough time. He does have a kit. Never mind. He sees the head. Can he get this one down? Daisy, he needs to be able to go forward very, very early on, but he's just playing for time, and he will be able to get the shot. Daisy with the AK finds a head. And 7-12. Complexity. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. So unfortunate, just not using the incendiary properly, otherwise that could have definitely worked in his favor. In a situation like that, you can't blame him though. Pulling out a grenade can be suicide in a 1 versus 1. They do still have sufficient guns to be able to potentially take this round away from Complexity, but it would be a bit of a steal. As Shonk still playing around that statue. Let's see what he can get done. He isn't really too happy about what happened in the previous round. But will be the man taking charge. If he goes for this peak right now, could find Slemmy through the broken wall. And with 4 players very aggressively centered around towards that B side, this could be big way. Surreal needs to push forward. He finds one. Never mind who is finding who is the question. And Seabot is answering that with a headshot. Will be traded away though by Android. Who sees Shonk's position. Wants to go for the peak. Shonk will be flushed out by their Molotov. And they're looking to maybe go through the smoke. Tropical pushing forward very aggressively. The bomb being faked out. They will be able to get... Oh, never mind. They're almost lined up for him now. Laffy with the Pharmacist. J-Chance with the 5-7. They need to push forward very aggressively. Android goes down. Can he get the last one through? J-Chance has got the 5-7 in a 1 versus 1. Slemmy goes down, and Jay gives them a chance. 7-12 very soon will be converted to an 8 for Sippintea. Complexity, they're being forced to fight for this. Both teams going neck and neck. It's a game of clutches, and so far they have been going the way of Complexity, but Sippin, they're making a good case for themselves. Yes, they are. Complexity so far, their executes over towards that B side haven't really been working out too effectively for them. Will it be different this time, as they are once again gearing to push forward with those Tech 9s? Try and go for a little bit of some fast play, just clear out those angles with the Molotovs and use those flashes and smokes to try and overwhelm the B side. But with 5 players over at B, even trying to boost one person up in towards a drop, Android will be the one to greet him. They've got 2 players very quickly jumping down. Tropical and Seabot, though they're able to bring them down. Tropical finding another one through the wooden beam. And Shonk Laffy with the Max 7 is more than ready to try and take them on, but unfortunately they're ready for him as well. It's a 2 versus 1. And finally, Sippintea are able to string 2 rounds together. Complexity have only managed to get a single round victory, and that round victory worked against them. With Sippintea very soon probably sitting at 10-12. Closing in, nipping on the heels of Complexity. If they don't get that bomb plant down, this could be very difficult moving into the next round as well. They're going to be sitting at about 4, maybe even, well, about 4,500 or so a piece. Not really the greatest money. Can't go for all the utility in the world with that. Laffy Still holding that angle towards A main, pushed forward very aggressively. Not the best of ideas against pistols in typical situations, but with the Deagles coming into play, perhaps it will be perfectly fine, and indeed it will be, with Def being the last man left standing. All 5 players surviving so far for Sippintea. If they're able to win this with all their players standing, this would be huge for their economy. And indeed looks like that will be the case. 10-12, and Sippintea, their money is looking a little bit more stable, so they look like they can take another loss, another round loss, and be able to get away with that. The question though is, will they concede that? I wouldn't be too surprised if Complexity are able to take this one away from them, but the next round, that's going to be what's really, really consequential if Complexity are able to do that. If they get reset once again, that might be the end of the game for them, and they realize that. They realize they need to start stringing together these rounds, and that's why Slemmy, he's not going for the UMP, he's going for the coL instead. Realizes that he's got quite a bit of money and all the extra firepower is needed. Has the utility, so not really compromising on that either, which is normally where you see the UMP reigning supreme. Laffy has been boosted up and Surreal will be brought down. Never mind, Surreal jumping through is left alive with 6 HP. Tropical resmokes that. He's got a Molotov as well, but will not be using that just quite yet. 1 minute and 12 seconds left on the clock. Seabot will be having his position. Molotov, never mind, the Molotov not going over towards broken wall. Perhaps a bit of a mistake coming through, as Seabot has been playing that position very consistently every single time. Backs his way over towards the staircase. Does get burnt alive by the flames, but he finds Def, brings him down. Android pushing through, does manage to blind up Shonk entirely, but Shonk finds one. Never mind, Daisy finds him instead. That should never be happening. Tropical through the smoke, connects with the shots, and J-Chance has rotated over from that A side as well. This grenade could be massive. Surreal goes down. 2 people going down with 1 grenade, and it brings him down to a 1 versus 1 with Slemmy having the firepower disadvantage. The coL not enough. J-Chance with a beautiful grenade, following it up with the spray. The AK making Complexity sweat, blood, and tears. Definitely not bullets though. And Complexity, they're just chilling in T-spawn, trying to figure things out, trying to go for some tactical plays. And Laffy says, no, absolutely not. But really, this is where Complexity should be going for a pause, and I'm very disappointed that they haven't chosen to do so yet. You know what they say, 10 is just 2 in binary. And it is just 2. This is a little bit depressing though. Complexity aren't quite able to really get that advantage early on, or get those early on pickoffs. And again, it does sort of go back towards the same thing as I was talking about earlier, where Tropical was doing the same thing over and over again on the T side. Seabot is doing something very similar by hiding next to broken wall every single time. And Complexity, they're just really not recognizing this. I realize that the round is going on, but it's an eco round. There really isn't much to say. It is getting a bit more interesting now though. Surreal in a 1 versus 2. If he finds this shot, yes he does. Oh no, never mind. I thought it was just an eco round. But as I was saying, Seabot plays broken wall almost every single round, and he's been able to very consistently get kills from there. So just the fact that they're not using a Molotov to try and flush that position out is a little bit saddening to see. The Molotov going out onto stairs every time is all fine and well, but when you're realizing that he likes to play broken wall and rotate over towards stairs once the Molotov does expire, maybe just Molotov out broken wall and try and pre-fire stairs. That could work out very effectively for you. Unfortunately for them, this time around, even if they try and go for that, they're not quite going for the exact same setup. They are trying to change something up on the CT side as well. But it's all up on J Chance, who's got that AUG. But can he make it work, though, is the question. He tries to go for some shots through the smoke. Will not be as effective as they have been in the past. The grenade could be doing some very chunky damage. The AC gets brought down to 50 HP from 97. And good usage of the grenade, at least, if nothing else. But Shonk as well, holding behind the statue every single time, and the Molotovs are now being used by Complexity. 40 seconds are left on the clock. They need to hurry things up a little bit. This is probably their last attempt at having a proper full buy once Sippintea has the advantage going through. And look at this, they're going over towards the A side very quickly, trying to overwhelm J Chance, but J Chance is not one to be overwhelmed easily as they're being forced to walk through the fire. Def brought down to 12 HP, Daisy brought down, period. Slammy is pushing through, over up on A ramp, he's found the headshot onto Laffy. And Tropical wants to remind the former C9 player why he was kicked from C9, but doesn't quite look like that is the reason. Shonk finds one, finds two, could be the third, but no. Def makes it into a 1 versus 2, and Shonk needs to get this. Unfortunately, Surreal with the angle will finish him off. Complexity. Complexity at 13-12. Finally managed to get around on the board. The second round of the second half that they have gotten on the preferential side of Cobblestone. We have to keep in mind this is of course their map pick as well, so the fact that they're not doing too well is definitely incredibly surprising. 11-4 was how they started this game off. And if this is how they keep going forward, then this could very well be a 16-13 or even a 16-14 going in the way of Sippintea. 3 players over at A side though. J Chance will be pincered in on UMP in hand. The boost will be coming into play. Slemmy almost gets taken down, but he manages to get 2 instead. 4 versus 3, and the rotations are very, very speedy. They're very, very swift, but unfortunately for them, Complexity equally swift to rotate the bomb over towards that B side. Daisy and Def, the double D duo, are looking around, and Tronk finds the angle but can't find the shot. Tropical has got the UMP as well, and Complexity looks like they are finally coming into their own, being able to string 2 rounds together after what seems like an eternity. And Tropical at this point, he's just going to be discussing with his teammates what exactly went wrong. Sippintea pushing forward that aggressively down into a main. And just being pincered up by Complexity. Despite the fast rotate coming out for the A side as well, Complexity had the presence of mind to take it back over towards B. Red Zito Complexity was the winner of the first map. And with Sippintea's money being all but gone, this could very well be a 15-12 where they have to try and fight for overtime. The only gun in their hands is in the hand of Tropical with the AK to play. The Molotovs this time around, they will be blocking off that broken wall area C, but still finding a little cubby for him to hide in. The crossfire set up with Shonk, and C, but pushes through, goes down immediately. Shonk finds one, but Def has got the spray down to finish things off. Complexity 15-12 seems inevitable. Two players just waiting to see if they can find some exit frags, but I would be very surprised if Complexity is undisciplined enough to let them have it. J Chance finds the one though, and might even be able to find the second, but Surreal finishes them off with the AWP. Lol, I'm Rich 4. This is not map 1, this is map number 2 of a best of 3. Finals for the ESL 1 Cologne Open Qualifier number 2, North American edition. And 15 to 12 tournament lives on the line. Sippintea can very well pat themselves on the back for making it this far, but they want to make it even further. Seabot changing things up now over towards drop. He's waiting for Android to push through, but the first man to find the shot will be J Chance over at the A side, his old hunting grounds. And Android, oh look at that, Seabot thinking of turning around courtesy of that flashbang, but Android just uses it to his advantage. They will go to the closed qualifier. Android getting flashed out by his teammates, and now they need to make this quick before the rotations can come through. Two players from the A side, and Android and Slemmy. They have thrown out the smokes, but perhaps even thinking about rotating back towards that A side, being a little bit slow of monopolizing. But Laffy and Jay, they do still have a chance. Laffy needs to use the scope, unfortunately chooses not to do so, and Laffy, never mind Jay, Laffy is left in a 1 versus 4, and it will be a none versus 4 as Complexity, well, they take it away, and they will be going forward into its close qualifiers. Ladies and gentlemen,